Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Inventing Kitten and this is my journey to becoming a 2-star rider with someone who hasn't even jumped 95 yet. So this is a lesson with Laura Collet. At the same time, there was a horrific weather driving on the way up. We were like, my goodness, we have to unload the horses in this weather.
Or we are going to get wrenched. My rain check is in the back of the truck.
So this lesson was at the National Equestrian Centre in New Zealand and we got all the way up there, we got the horses all the way settled, and then I realised I had the dates wrong. So I thought my lesson was the 15th and the 16th. Turns out it was the 16th and the 17th. So this is why there is a bit of lack of footage in between like my own personal vlogs and talking, because we had to save our power. I had one battery pack to last 3 days and I was like, I am not missing the cross-country jumps. It honestly worked out being so amazing because luckily we had enough food and enough hay for the horses. But the day before, I brought Ruby in and I just schooled her real quietly, and she gets really, really upset with horses around her. Like, she's gone through phases where she rears and bucks and she just gets quite upset. So I've been quietly just trying to work her through that. So the next day when we had the actual clinic, they'd been there for 2 days and she was so settled. She definitely was being a bit keen down the line, so the opposite to this way, because she was very much trying to run out the arena to go back to Lulu. But as you can see, as you got down the line, me and her just got better and better. I'm still kind of holding her face a little bit too much, but Laura really helped me through that, and it'll show more in the cross country, which comes in later. So she had us doing these little grids where her main thing was getting the horse to come round and do turns into another fence. So for example here, jump, turn into fence. And one thing that was really showing up is like Laura was like, you need to sit. So she's like, so one thing this really highlighted that Laura really was pointing out to me is that like I'm just kind of rushing the horses into the jump, and kind of like what I see in my eyes, I'm kind of hassling them a bit rather than letting them sit and just wait and then figure it out, because the horses know what they're doing and I'm just disrupting her pretty much. And as you can see, as I went along, I was getting better and better. This is our last jump coming up here. Ruby always loves to sometimes launch it a bit, but she was honestly super. I was just so happy how relaxed she was. And then we took everything into the cross country the next day. So I definitely feel like I take a little bit to warm up into the fences. It takes me a while to re-click everything in, because I feel like I am definitely in my learning and building phase. Hence why, if you've been following me for a while, you're like, why aren't you thinking about jumping bigger? Ruby can clearly jump bigger, but I can't jump bigger. It's the whole point, especially what Laura was teaching me, is that I need to work on the basics. So the basics for me at the moment with working with cross country is having them going forward through my hands, me having an independent seat, not touching their face, and waiting for the jumps. Anyway, back to the clinic. So it's really nice because we've actually already been to this facility before with the Lucinda Green clinic, and she really boosted us. And as you can see, compared to last time, if you watch that video, Ruby is so much more bolder and braver, and we are just like fully starting to click together here. Like some of these jumps, I was a little bit like, oh, okay. So here, I don't know what I did. I leant forward. I could hear Lucinda Green screaming at me, lean back, you know better than that, Rachel. So I did it better there because Laura's like, go back and do it again. So coming up, this is a combination. I've left the whole video in so we can talk it through. So one of my bad habits is that she was like, go jump this jump. And I was like, oh, that's quite big. And when it gets a bit bigger, see, I panic. Like, this is why I've been sticking to the lower jumps, because as soon as the jump's a little bit out of my comfort zone, I revert back to my default habits. They're not as strong as what they used to be, but they are still there. So I need to keep working on creating habits that don't make me lock up when I find something a little bit more difficult for me. So Laura was like, that's okay, come around, do it again, just sit quietly, she can do it. And once I've jumped it, I definitely feel a lot more better. And as you can see, I'm a little bit more quieter here. I'm just sitting here, and me and Ruby get a much better jump. But again, I do it again with this next jump, because I was also watching a few beforehand and it was quite an awkward jump. So I was like, oh my God. And Ruby's like, no, we're fine. But but not still getting my act together. And Laura was like, come around, do it again, do the same thing, sit quietly and just wait for the jump. And as you can see here, I'm a lot more relaxed and I jump way better. And I actually went and talked to Laura afterwards. I was like, hey, like, what am I doing? Am I touching her face too much? Am I holding her too much? And Laura was like, actually, you need to ride with slightly longer reins, which I started doing afterwards, because when I look back at the video, I'm like, it makes sense, because she's like, she needs to better use her neck, and I'm interfering with her neck when she jumps. Anyway, so we popped in and out of the water a few times, and then we came around and did this mini course. I'll let this play so you guys can hear what Laura is like still trying to get me to get my head around.
That's right, now put your canter together. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Good, now shoulders up, leg. Well done, very good.
I was so happy with her with that jump, because that jump was quite a bit of an ask for me and Ruby. But like I said, Laura is just trying to get it through to me that I need to sit and wait for the jumps. And on top of that, it really shows that I'm lacking a good quality canter with Ruby, which will come in time with the little awkward jump with schooling. So this, as you can see here with this jump coming up, this is the last of the jumps of the clinic. And I definitely find I start getting quite tired and I kind of revert back to my not so strong habits. And as you can see, Ruby's just kind of like rushing off. I didn't put the canter together, and Laura was like, if there was a show jump, you would have knocked the rails. And then we finished off doing the ditch. And as you can see, coming up with this one here, I get tired and I'm getting lazy. And then I almost fall off. And Laura's like, go back and do it again.
Oh, now you're going to have to do that one more.
But this clinic was so amazing. There were so many things I learned. There's so many things I need to work on. And I think the biggest takeaway is that I'm going to go away and start doing more schooling and lessons with dressage, because it's not really the height anymore, it's the schooling that's letting me down. But thank you so much for watching. I'm the Inventing Cannon. Bye.